In this video, I'm going to go over 5 self-tape tips to have great self-tapes. Hi, I'm Nia Aker and I'm an actor and a writer. I have a BFA in Performing Arts with a minor in Creative Writing, and in this video, I'm going to go over 5 technical tips to have better self-tapes. Your reader. If your audition is a scene, you need a reader. A reader is someone who is off camera, who reads the lines of the other characters in the scene, and they're also there so that you have someone to act off of. Your reader should be placed right next to the camera, and you should look at them while you're performing your scene. Also, because your reader is right next to the camera and also the mic, they need to speak at a lower volume so that during playback, your reader doesn't sound like they're yelling at you when they're actually just speaking at a normal volume. But because they're so close to the mic, it comes off very loud. And in comparison, you sound like you're whispering because you're so far away and the contrast is so big. So your reader should be speaking at a lower volume, but still is audible to the person watching the video. Also, your reader shouldn't be distracting from you. They shouldn't be doing voices or accents or any like weird vocal things. They should just be reading normally like a regular person. It's preferable to have your reader with you in the room, but if that's not possible, there are some other things that you can do so that you still have someone to read with. You can call someone on the phone and read with them that way. You could do a video chat and read with them that way. I've done the video chat one. I think it works better than the phone because you can also see each other, and that's very helpful. And like if push comes to shove and you just have no one you can call or no one is available or whatever is going on, you can record yourself saying the lines and play the recording in your scene or edit it in later. This one is like the least preferable, and it's only if there's like absolutely no one, like nothing, like you really don't want to do this one, but like if you have absolutely no other options, then that is the very last one that you could do. Whichever you're doing, playing a recording of yourself, video chatting, talking on the phone with someone, all of those devices should still be out of the frame and only you're in the camera. Your eye line. Your eye line should be as close to the camera lens as possible without looking into the camera lens. You don't want to look too far into any direction because then your face can't be seen. And you need to remember the camera is stationary and it's not moving with you or following you. So if you turn your face too far away, you can't, it's a profile and you can't be seen. Or if you look too far up or too far down, there's all of these angles that aren't communicating what information you're giving through your performance. Remember, the camera is stationary, so you need to adjust that. If the scene says that you're walking or swimming or, I don't know, something that involves movement, you cannot simulate that in your self-tape, which is fine. Casting directors understand that. If you have more than one eye line and you're looking at multiple people in the scene, choose 2 or 3 focal points and decide when you're going to look at those places so that you're not just like shifting back and forth, because on camera it can be confusing and it doesn't translate as, oh, I'm looking at a bunch of people. It translates as, I don't know where I'm looking and I didn't do enough preparation, so I don't know where my character is or who I'm speaking to, and I'm just like, I didn't decide where to put them and I keep looking in the wrong place, and that can be what it comes out of. Instead, you want to choose, oh, I'm going to talk to this person, this is what's happening here, and then, oh, but you know, blah, 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 and this is what's going on, and oh, I don't want to leave you out either, you know, because blah, 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 and decide when you're going to look at these people. Because like I said, if you don't have a clear eye line, it can be confusing to whoever is watching what your setting is, who you're talking to, how you feel about them, and because your eyes are shifting so much, there are things that are lost and emotions that can be lost because your eyes are just in a constant motion. And camera is all about the eyes, which is, they're like the most important thing. Your frame. Film and television is all about up close and personal. The camera is gonna film close to your face, so your frame should be close to your face. this frame right here is a good self-tape frame. You don't want to be too far back because then it makes it more difficult to see the features on your face, but you also don't want to be like all up in the camera like hello. So your frame can be about anywhere from like your waist to your head to about like just like collarbone to head is like the closest I would be in a thing. Yeah, like you don't just want it to be like your head floating, but like yes. What's most important is that your face is visible so that your acting ability is portrayed clearly. Movement. You can move. When I first started acting and like doing self-tapes, I thought you just had to be like right here, like no moving, nothing like that. You can move in a self-tape. You can enter the frame, you can exit the frame, you can move back and come closer. You like the only movement that is you really can't do is levels, because your camera needs to stay stationary. You shouldn't be like panning and like doing things that a director would choose to do, like, so you just kind of, you don't want to be going up and down a lot in your self-tape. You can start at the beginning or in doing that, where maybe you were sitting and you stand, or you were standing and you sit, but you don't want to be doing that, like changing levels throughout or in the middle of your scene. You also don't want to move too much. Your movements should be necessary to communicate information, not like just random, unnecessary, distracting things. The movement needs purpose. Takes. One of the great things about self-tapes is that you can do as many takes as you want because you're doing it yourself on your own time, usually, unless you like hire a place, but that's a separate thing. I'm talking about if you're doing this you yourself and wherever. If you mess up, you can start over and nobody knows. It can also take the pressure off of like having to perform in a room where you're nervous and maybe you mess up sometimes. You're also able to watch all of your takes and choose which one or ones you want to send in. And that's great, but that's also where the trap is. The trap is that you may want to keep doing takes until you feel that you did it perfectly, and you keep doing them and doing them and doing them, and then you have like a million takes that you have to watch and pick through and critique, and then they all blend together, and no. This is a bad idea in my opinion, because you're never gonna be perfect, or what you think is perfect, it's never gonna happen. If you want to do it, you can. That's totally up to you, how many takes you want to do. And what you need to realize is that none of them are going to be perfect. There's always going to be like one moment where you're like, oh, I wish I had done this, or oh, I need to do this. But then you might fix that moment, but then something else isn't exactly the way you wanted it to be. You, like, if you're a perfectionist, which I can be sometimes, so I totally get it, none of the takes are going to be perfect. So get that out of your head as soon as possible. None of your takes are going to be perfect, but you will have some takes that are super great. My rule for filming self-tapes so that I don't spend a million hours on them and then have a million takes to watch is I have a limit. You can set whatever limit you feel is comfortable for you. My limit is that I do a minimum of 3 takes and a maximum of 5. 3 to 5 tapes is a manageable number to look over and review and choose from. And in my head, I'm like, well, if I didn't do what I needed to do in those 5 takes, that means I didn't prepare enough to do this. So then maybe I need to step back, and if I have time, look over the script again, or like whatever. And also having a limit to cut off of, oh, I'm gonna stop after doing this many takes, it puts a little bit of pressure on you to perform, which can be helpful and help you stay in the moment and make decisions and allow you to do better. But like, you should definitely not be doing more than 10 takes. Like, in my, like, 5 is a good number. Any more than 5, that's getting like a bit too many. If you're doing more than 10, you're not prepared at all. If you're doing more than 10 takes, you should have gotten a good take before that. Not to like judge or reprimand you, but a little bit. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you. Now you have some tips on the technical execution of doing self-tapes, and I hope that, what was I saying? I hope this helped you. Now you have some technical tips and tricks on how, no tricks. I hope this helped you. Now you have some technical tips on how to execute good self-tapes. And remember the 5 things. It is your reader, your eyeline, your frame, movement, and the number of takes. If you would like to know more about self-tapes, you can check out my other self-tape videos. You can also check out other videos on my channel about acting tips and monologue tips in industry things in general. If you're new to acting, returning to acting, or just want to like know things in general, this is a good channel for you, I think, maybe. And you should definitely like look at some of my other stuff. In addition to watching some of my other videos, you can also hop over to my website where I have a blog and I post companion articles to some of my videos. I also post personal essays, bullet journal entries, movie and book reviews, whatever else I feel like posting. You can also follow me and my cats on Instagram. All of the links for all of these things are in the description below. Thank you for watching. Bye.